Hello. I wanted to discuss the paper, The Lived Experiences of Parents with Gifted Students on the Autism Spectrum. Within this paper, we hope to understand what it would be like to have a gifted child on the spectrum from a parent's perspective. I saw Temple Grandin speak, and she talked about how she didn't know how to express love to her parents, but she was very loyal. And I wondered from a parent perspective what that would mean and how that would influence somebody's life. And so I was very interested in getting this parent perspective. So we created a phenomenological study in which we interviewed 13 different parents, one from Australia and the rest were from the United States. Through these interviews, we were able to determine some of the common characteristics that these students shared. And then the more interesting or important contribution is really looking at how these characteristics influenced the challenges associated with finding appropriate educational placements. We often saw one set of needs being met while the other set of needs was being overlooked. So, for example, we had a student in a gifted school who had no special education services, so there was no special services to meet the needs of someone on the spectrum. Conversely, we had a student who was able to receive fantastic social services, but his gifted needs were being completely neglected. So having these unique set of characteristics really proved to be challenging for parents to advocate for appropriate educational services. This created a lot of stress in their lives. They approached the task from a variety of ways. They bought books for teachers. They took teachers to conferences. They had constant conference meetings with the teachers and the principal and the support systems. Because a lot of the schools had different services, but it was very inflexible in how those services were provided. So it was really challenging to hear about all their struggles with trying to find appropriate educational services and all of the ways in which they approached that. I think the largest step a lot of parents took was actually moving their child. At least 10 out of the 13 parents made an elective move just to find another school to try to meet the needs of their students. So that was an extremely stressful experience for them and for their entire families. I hope that the outcome of this paper is that other parents with gifted students on the autism spectrum feel like their voices have been represented through this paper. I had no idea going into it what their experiences would be like. I was just genuinely curious about them. And I think this paper helps other parents feel like they're not alone, that they have some shared experiences. Further, I hope that it helps researchers and other teachers get a glimpse into how these parents experience schools and how they experience life. And I hope that it facilitates some amount of compassion and empathy for the struggles that these parents are really experiencing.